Hello there, heroes! I'm the Orange Ranger, and first of all, I was kind of hoping to save this reveal for a Dragon Knight review. I'll get into it more in that video, but yeah, new look. But there's more important news for us to get to. Monday morning, Hasbro issued a press release announcing that they have granted the global toy license for Power Rangers to Playmates, well known for their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy line. Playmates will begin making Power Rangers toys in 2025 with, what else? A kid-focused Mighty Morphin Power Rangers toy line. That's the headline, but what does it all mean? Let's review this news, shall we? What is the global toy license? Well, remember back when Bandai of America made toys for Power Rangers under Saban? Bandai held the global toy license. And there was a very short time, and I'm talking about a day, if not a couple of hours, where Hasbro held the global toy license for Power Rangers under Saban brands, before the brand was completely sold over to them. So no, Playmates does not now own Power Rangers. Seriously, I've seen one YouTube video with that title, Playmates now owns Power Rangers, but that is not the case. Hasbro is still in charge and will be producing whatever creative content is made for the franchise, the TV shows, the movies, etc., etc. Playmates is just going to be making the toys now, the action figures, the Zords, plushies, etc., etc. So, is this a good thing or a bad thing? That's really a subjective question, but in my opinion, it's a great thing. Consider this. Today after work, the day this video was made, I went to Target and took a look at the toy aisle. Power Rangers? Not a thing to be seen, and I'm not talking about empty shelves, I'm talking about zero shelf space. But Orange Ranger, there's no show supporting a toy line right now. Number one, that's not true. Cosmic Fury is still technically the currently running show and on Netflix. It just never got a toy line really to begin with. But two, we also know full well that Power Rangers toys would linger in stores long past the ending of a season, even when seasons were coming out one right after the other and there was a new toy line. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Look at the variety of the toys. Individual figures, big figures, figure collections, big Turtle Van toys, role-play sets, the likes of which we've seen for Power Rangers before. There's even this, a figure line that crosses over Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and He-Man. Now, I do have to stress that this one is made by Mattel, but hey, Playmates has the Turtles license and this toy got made. So, holding the Power Rangers license, they could do similar crossovers. To me, nothing is more telling about the impact of this news than this, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has nearly half of a side aisle of toys, and Power Rangers has nothing. Now, it's hard to say that I'm ecstatic, because that's how I felt when Hasbro took over. And now a company that still primarily makes toys felt like they had to bring in another company that makes toys to handle Power Rangers. But that really has to be part of the conversation when we talk about this. Hasbro as a company is really changing and transforming. They're starting to move away from the toy-making game. Not completely, of course, but they're really focusing their own toy-making efforts on their own little core stable of brands. Outside of that, they're really adopting the industry trend to kind of license out some of their outside brands to other companies, and they've seen success with that. Brands like Play School and My Little Pony are flourishing with other companies making the toys. Hasbro just kind of cashing the licensing check. They seem to be exploring things much more as a content maker for the brands that they hold the rights to. It's really kind of a step to the other side of the fence. And think about this. They could have sold the whole thing, right? I mean, I doubt Playmates wants to create content for Power Rangers. They don't even really create content for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's Nickelodeon, the overall rights holder. But there's got to be some company out there that would have wanted the whole thing. This move, to me, pretty clearly demonstrates that Hasbro does still have plans for Power Rangers. I doubt that Playmates only wants to make MMPR toys. I do have to admit that's at least a slight possibility, but I do still overall doubt it. They warm up with MMPR, and then there they are in 2026 to make toys for the new Power Rangers reboot. 2026, I think, is a pretty realistic goal for that series to come out. I took a quick look over Playmates toy lines, and at first I wasn't really seeing anything that screamed Legacy line or Lightning Collection adult collector toys. They do have some Ninja Turtles figures that harken back to the comics and older movies and shows and etc. at some pretty high prices, even higher than the Lightning Collection as well. But admittedly, even looking at that at retailers like Walmart, if you're looking at it online, it can be aftermarket. Then I started to realize something a little more important. Playmates, it turns out, does have experience making more adult-type collector toys. Not necessarily for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but how about for a brand that I like even better than that? How about for friggin' Star Trek?
You obtuse piece of flotsam.
This really was even more obvious than I realized at first. Why? Because I just bought a Star Trek toy from Playmates. I just didn't realize that Playmates were the one who made it. What toy was that? This thing! Yeah, the Enterprise D! And this thing is amazing! It separates! It lights up! It makes sounds! I really should give this thing a proper review at some point. Of course, I've got a stack of Ranger toys I can say the same thing about. The excitement level was getting higher because the Star Trek line shows that Playmates does have an adult fan side, creating authentic roleplay toys and action figures for an adult fan base. This really started to feel like, if you will forgive the inexcusable TNG pun here, the best of both worlds. It's ironic that when I was thinking about toy makers that could take on a toy line like Power Rangers, I absolutely blanked on Playmates when it seems to be the best possible choice. Then I started reading Twitter and started learning even more to get even more excited. Hey, guess what? Playmates made the Voltron toys. I was a little bit concerned that the Ninja Turtles and even Star Trek toy lines don't really have anything that screams combining Zords. Playmates made the Voltron toys. They can do combining Zords. Also, credit to my friend Alwendo for pointing this one out on Twitter. It turns out that Playmates does have the right within their license to do crossover toys, just like that He-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy I showed you. Playmates makes Godzilla toys. Have you seen those Kaiju Rangers floating around from the crossover comic? One less company to wrangle in getting that all sorted out. And of course, the same goes for the Ninja Turtles Power Rangers comic crossovers. I find myself getting more and more excited. The brand stable that Playmates has works well with Rangers and demonstrates that they could be really good with Power Rangers. Now, like I said before, we have every reason to put the gigantic word cautious in cautiously optimistic. Hasbro was the savior, the chosen one, a perfect fit. Then they learned that us annoying, hard-to-please Power Rangers fans want our $30+ collector's toys to be, show accurate, and apparently that was just a little bridge too far. Playmates is starting us off with more Mighty Morphin toys. and we're just gonna have to take our medicine there. MMPR is the big nostalgic moneymaker of the Power Rangers franchise right now. Playmates is not gonna settle for the fact that there's a whole bunch of Mighty Morphin toys out there already. They're going to make their own Mighty Morphin toys and cash in on that nostalgia. Am I going to buy yet another Power Morpher or Dino Megazord? Honestly, I don't know. We'll see. If any of the fine folks at Playmates happen to be watching this video, I would have one very simple, humble request. Listen to us. Consult the adult fans. If you're gonna be making figures, adult collector line quality figures that are gonna cost $30+, focus on accuracy. Let me tell you something. Knowing this myself, Ranger fans will spend their wallets dry if you give us accurate, quality stuff. If you do a retro Megazord adult quality collector line, for Zordon's sake, make a Shogun Megazord. Not first. You're gonna do the Dino Megazord first. We all realize that. Do it second. Show us that you're really listening to us. By the by, Hasbro isn't necessarily done making toys for Power Rangers. There's a line buried in the press release about Hasbro still being able to push out merchandise through the Hasbro Pulse direct-to-consumer line and bringing stuff to conventions. Yay. Well, I think I've said everything about this that I possibly can. What do you all think? Do you think, like me, that this is really wonderful news? Or do you have some of your own opinions about the toy lines that Playmates currently makes that suggest this might be a bad move? Let me know about that down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button. Let me know that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe and set up notifications so you find out whenever I post new videos like this. And you can check me out on Patreon, Coffee, and Teespring to find ways to support my channel. If this does happen to be your first time seeing me, you were just searching for Power Rangers Playmates news, I am the Orange Ranger. I review Power Rangers content, the TV show, the comic books, the toys, and news here on YouTube. I am currently in the process of reviewing Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, an American tokusatsu series like Power Rangers that aired a little while back, as there's not really any new Power Rangers TV content to review. When the new show comes out, you can be sure that I'll be reviewing that. I appreciate you checking me out, and I hope that you watch those reviews. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. Power Rangers got a new Playmate. Yeah, new look. Wait, shoot, yeah. I had it right, so. Playmates is just going to be making the toys now, the action figures, the Zords, etc., etc., the plushies. They've adapted to the... Playmates made the Voltron toys. The Voltron?